All right, everybody, and welcome. You've made it to yet another Friday, so congratulations to that. It is what time is it here? It's about 2 o'clock here in the eastern part of the United States. So wherever you're at, hello and welcome to the show. This is our weekly podcast. We try to do it 2 o'clock every week. It's sometimes challenging to be creative this late in the week on a Friday. Everybody knows that's why we do it here. That way, hopefully, it gets you out of work. But obviously, we didn't do it last Friday because I was at the IASIS conference, which was pretty awesome, all for over the weekend. So that was good. We did a live show from there. If you didn't get a chance to tune in, that was a lot of fun. So what I want to talk about here real quick before I bring my guest on is, if you have not, we've started the new, and I mentioned it real briefly during, I think it was 2 weeks ago, the Hubcast there, was that we have the new trivia up. So if you go into Cyber Social Hub, which you see right up there somewhere, and where is it? Right here. You'll see this big, massive QR code. Obviously, this month, since May the 4th, be with you, right, was kind of the Star Wars nerdiness. We've added some Star Wars trivia into it. We're giving away again, one of these Hubcast metal shot glasses that have actually a shell casing from an A10 Warthog. So make sure if you do that, brush up on your Star Wars and a little bit of digital forensics. It's always mixed in there, and you can kind of check that out. All right. So with that brings up our so that one runs for the month too. By the way, we usually run them from our newsletter date to newsletter date. So the newsletter goes out the last week of every month. So it'll run till then, and then we'll kick up another one in time for techno, obviously then as well. So cool. Go play it. Not right now, though, because it is timed, and you won't be able to listen to the Hubcast while you're doing it because you'll be like, oh my gosh, it's going so fast. Indeed. I haven't played this month yet, so I should test my skills to see how I'm doing. But let's bring on our guest. Without further ado, everyone knows who she is. It's Amber Schroader from Paraben Corp. Amber, how are you?
I'm good, and I've already played trivia.
Oh, you've already done it? I haven't looked to see
yes.
who's all played yet.
I have good Star Wars knowledge and good DFIR knowledge, so I felt I did well.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. I'll have Megan's going to go take a peek and see. Megan, can you check and see how many people's actually played? Because it's only been running a couple weeks, I think. I think we started it at IASIS because you were down there. You were a booth right across from me.
We were neighbors, like across the street neighbors. Yeah.
It was funny. We fully intended to have you on the show, but it was like the Friday before, and we're both like sitting there. You were literally sitting in the seat next to me going, what are we going to talk about? And I'm like, I don't know.
We were both tired. Our brains were like burned out, that I'm like, this was a lot of peopling, and I'm just full of the peopling. I have nothing to talk about.
That was the same way. That's what made it funny. I was just like, oh, I'm so de-energized here. Those shows, people don't realize those shows for the vendors or people hanging out there it's a lot. Just because you're talking and you're saying the same thing a lot of time over and over again, but it's still a lot.
I think it's even harder if you're an introvert like me, because I'm like, ooh, you got to pull it in. You're like, let me talk to people. And I'm like, I don't want to hear anything, no sounds. I leave the show and I'm silent for like the next 8 hours.
Right. We were bouncing back and forth between Universal. So literally after every day of the show, we were heading over to Universal because my family went with me down there. That was a lot of fun. My gosh, Universal was thinking. It is awesome.
Cool. Harry Potter part, cool.
I have to say that, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, right? But yeah. I have to say that Universal did a really good job. I mean, I think it's a better job what they did on the Harry Potter world than
I haven't seen the Star Wars world inside of Disney yet. I'm waiting.
It's good. It's good.
It is on my list. Who doesn't want to drive the Falcon? I actually have a truck that I have named that because it's kind of just a bucket of bolts. So it kind of has that feel to it. So we call it the Falcon. We have a Falcon sticker on it in the inside. And I'm like, oh, I want to go see it, but I don't want to pay Disney yet. So I'm waiting.
Yeah, it is. It's not cheap. Going to the park is not cheap in the slightest.
No.
At all, which is insane. So it's a mini fortune.
I don't have any young kids either, so it really would just be me and my husband and us dorking it out and being like, okay.
It is. Oh my gosh, it's yeah. I don't know what we're gonna do next year when we go down, but Because we've hit
Legoland.
both parks. Oh yeah, we haven't hit SeaWorld either. It's
Lego.
down there too, right?
I would go to Legoland first. It actually has manual rides, so you get to feel like the whole what is it called when it has like the this equals this, and you get to kind of go through those exercises with Legos, and that's some of the rides. It's pretty cool. I
Really?
liked Legoland a lot. Yeah,
Huh. That might be interesting
less
to check that out.
very commercial because it's a toy, but yet less commercially because it's manual in some parts.
Huh. Well, I might have to check that out. I was unaware. That's very cool. Yeah, but it's always fun down there. I mean, it's a good time. You see, a lot of people because their big classroom has got like what was it, 320 some students in it, and
It's a lot.
we noticed it every break. They'd come rushing out, and it was just, oh my gosh, hang on for this.
So here's my joke for any of the ladies that are listening. It's the one event you can go to, and the women's bathroom line is never long, but the men's bathroom line is like rows and rows of men. It was pretty fantastic. It's like, oh, here, let me just go over here because it is out of proportion in the industry in general, but it is one of those that in normal public places, the women's bathroom line is epic long always.
You're not wrong. I just, yeah,
Mhm.
that's exactly the way it is. Yeah.
Justice, women, justice.
Indeed, it is. Indeed. But a lot of those folks down there were just kind of getting started into it, or maybe they made, a transition, a career transition. What just happened to my mic sound? Anyway, my headphones are doing weird stuff, so I apologize. Um, but, and that's what the Hubcast is about today, right? Is
Yeah,
making that transition to the crazy world of digital investigations, digital forensics, whichever flavor of the big tree of uh, digital investigations that you choose. Um, so, I guess what's your like your big piece of advice? We'll go through some other ones here, but if you had to pick one out of all the things that are out there, what would be your top piece of advice for somebody that's transitioning over?
I think the big thing they have to look at is that it's not always about a degree so much as it's about a certification and experience. And I say that as an entrepreneur, I've been in the space for 33 years, a long time. And it's about that learning path and doing it more that way. It is great to have a degree now that there's a lot of them out there in digital forensics, but there wasn't when I was coming up. I don't think there were when you were coming up either.
No,
So
no.
your experience came from those certifications and that work you put into it. And I think that's hugely valuable. And I think that's what a lot of places are looking for in their labs is someone, or I'm going to say, where you have a little meat on your bone. You have, a little bit of experience. You can sit down, you can operate everything you would be expected to operate. It's not your first time seeing Linux, little things like that. The more you can play and the more you get into anything digital, it's only going to help you. So I think a lot of people also think it's expensive, and it's not. There's so many great courses out there that are free. So Udemy, check it out. All the other ones.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you have a someone who says Amber is a rock star. So there you go.
Ah, I know who that
I
is.
don't know who it is. So sorry,
Well, and
I've missed some of the chats here. I was
oh,
so focused
I
on
don't get to
talking.
see those.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's Megan says hi.
Hey, Megan.
Um, who else is saying? Oh, look at this. And Amber looks so studious, and
Nice.
Kevin looks like, well, Kevin. Yeah, that's pretty
Evan.
much the case.
I
Yeah,
love that I look studious. I don't know
yeah.
if I always look. It's probably my glasses. I just can't see anymore. So that is a side effect of being in digital forensics for a long period of time is you will need computer glasses because I can't function without them anymore.
Yeah, I have my reading glasses literally just within
Mhm.
arm's length here. Right, just you must have them. So, and Ron, hey, welcome, Ron. Sorry, I'm going through here, making sure we say hi to
Indeed.
everybody. Cyber Stalker, look at that. Friday is the top of the day to stream. Indeed, it is.
Indeed.
Absolutely, it is. I'm going to move this down slightly, like I can do this live. Anyway, Jason says 10K 15 years ago, family of five. Was that Disney or
Wow, that was Legoland, I think.
was that I don't know. Oh man, that's
That probably
really
didn't include all
painful.
the Lego purchases that you have to do.
Oh God. Yeah, that's just 10K in Legos, right?
It's
Because
it's
they
funny.
are pricey.
My adult kids have gotten back into Legos, which is weird. My daughter's all into all the flowers. It's like they called out to her female inner spirit, and now she has flowers all over her house that are made out of Legos. I'm like, well, you're easy to give now. So
That's right.
I'm like, that's
Those are
fine for me.
my kind of flowers too. They don't die.
They don't
You know, of
exactly.
course, if you
Yeah.
step on them, you feel like dying, but you know,
Yeah, she's had to rebuild a couple times. She's currently building a cherry blossom tree. That's what it was. So I was like, it's nice, therapeutic brain stuff. I think that's the other side. So since we're talking about DFIR jobs, that's the other side of the DFIR jobs is you don't always get to have the most fantastic side of humanity.
hmm.
So Legos are a nice little side note since we have Legos as an undercurrent. I have something that I do to kind of let the stuff that I see go, if that makes sense. It's a therapy. Otherwise it kind of builds up inside you and it's not a happy feeling. You feel more Sith than you do,
Right.
Jedi.
For
So
sure.
that's the balance that you're looking for. So I think that's a good aspect when you're looking to change or move into the field or even moving up in the field. You have to have that undercurrent. I have dogs. I barbecue. I cook. I do those things that have nothing to do with the computers that I deal with every day or the data types or the individuals that I deal with. Because I actually still do consulting work at Paraben, even though my primary job is designing technology, I still do
Hmm.
consulting work because I don't know, there's something wrong with me that says I still need to do that, but I don't want to lose my practitioner side.
Right. No, no. My practitioner side has been gone a long time, unfortunately. So that's good that you're staying on the edge of it all. You kind of have to when you're designing the software, but
Yeah, you
yeah.
don't want to lose touch that all of a sudden you're like, I put the wheels on the outside of the car on top because that made sense. It's like you don't want to do stuff like that. You really want to understand how the people are feeling with it.
Yep. Yep. Oh, there we go. Dogs are the
I,
best therapy for everything.
I
That's
agree.
true.
I have 5 of them.
My
I took
dog
one
is.
diasis
She's not
actually.
in here. Oh, that's right. You did. I met your dog.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You met,
Well,
met my newest dog, which was he's ensign pike because he's not quite at captain level yet.
that's right. What kind of dog was that?
Mhm.
Because it had little itty bitty
He's a
legs.
cor
Like
Yeah, he's a corgi.
that's right. That's right. The little bitty, like full grown
Yeah.
dog, little bitty legs.
Yeah, he's just coming up on 7 months, so we'll hope he gets just a tiny bit taller, but yeah, he has short dog syndrome right now.
RC, I'm sorry, I'm trying to go through all these chats here, and someone said, "Would you recommend Kali Linux specifically?" I've heard these. There
It
are
has a
other systems as
wonderful
well
yeah,
for
Kali is
certifications.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Kali's great because it actually has a defer module, essentially a version of
hmm
defer for Kali, and I think it's wonderful to be very familiar with it. It also the best part is that if you go into some firms and you're looking to work for, let's say, corporate or whatever, they might not be utilizing that tool,
hmm.
and you can introduce it to them, which just shows again that meat on the bone that why am I more valuable than someone else you might have hired. So picking up some of those unique skills will really help you to kind of cement yourself in there. I think the biggest problem otherwise is that people leave jobs too quickly. I know that's probably not the most popular opinion, but you've got to be at a job long enough that they not only believe that you learned what you were supposed to learn there, you've got the skills for it, but that it looks positive on your resume. I don't like hiring people that like maybe only spent a year at a job. I know that seems like a long time. I don't think it's that long. Not in defer, at
No,
least.
no, it's not. It man, it takes that long just to get learn how to do an
Yeah.
investigation, for that matter.
Right, that you feel good about it and you've kinda got a workflow going, you're like, "Alright, I can do this and not think about it too much." And if they leave too soon, it's like you're just restarting that cycle somewhere else instead of contributing to the workflow, you're taking away from it because you have to relearn something new.
Yep. Nope. Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to zoom and pan in on your image here a little bit as I mess around. I'm trying not to screw it up. You can't see it live yet because I haven't published it. So I'm messing with my new toys in my software. Here we go. This should bring you up. There you go.
Oh, whoa.
A
Hey,
little
look at
closer
that.
to us there. Ta-da! There's Amber.
Yeah, I have a camera, that's it, so this is what you get.
We can zoom and pan you a little bit. Nothing too much.
There we go.
So I don't know. Oh, more dog. Oh, they have a dog as an icon there too. So
I do, that's one of my others, that's Shadow.
bring
I
the
have 3 Huskies, 1 Dachshund, and 1 Corgi.
yeah.
Mhm. I'm pretty serious about it. So I figure that they do make everything better. They're very therapeutic, and I'm doing good things by having them with me as opposed to living a life on the streets. I know you got a rescue, and you probably feel the same way.
Um, yes, I tell you what, my dog is awesome. She's awesome. The day I went to the rescue didn't intend. I don't want to make this a dog rescue chat that we seem to be dealing, which is fine. But I love talking about my dog. But and she's just like she picked us. She's like, nope, you people are you're taking me home. That's just the way it's
Yeah,
happening, and that's what we
that's
did.
how it
And
works.
she's been awesome. Of course, Ron
Nope.
is in there doing controversy now, so he's like trying to
Cats.
stir the pot up.
I have one cat as well, but she was raised by the dogs. So she's currently living with my daughter because she needed a support animal. My cat was just trying to kill me for most of her life. I feel that is a cat's plan, and I was helping her fulfill it. So she's living with my daughter.
So William says that
Oh,
he just finished the Nitro command line on PowerShell at NCFI. Very cool.
nice.
Retire in 4 years, 11 months. Be looking for a job in digital forensics and fraud examination. So you're looking to make the transition, the move over from.
Public
Um,
sector into moving over into a DFIR career.
yep, it's my
So
guess, not
there's,
knowing whether Williams and
yeah,
Ellie or
I'm
not. I'm
guessing.
guessing yes, going to NCFI like that. Yeah.
So certifications, if you want to do fraud, you've got to become ACFE, just because that is the standard for good fraud investigations, um, and go through that process. It's a testing process. They're also a very active community that's different than our DFIR community, which is great. You get a totally new perspective on what they investigate versus what we normally will investigate. So I think that's a big bonus. Um, but if I can share a screenshot, I think I can share a screenshot in here. I'm not sure.
Stand by a second. I don't know if I have that set,
I
but
know. Just to think about that.
I will find it for you because I'm still
So
set up
one of
on our ASIS
on your
setup.
oh,
But I
well, if
will.
you can't, then maybe
Yeah.
you can put it on after or whatnot.
Hey, now none of us are there. Okay,
We've disappeared. People disappeared.
that's pretty cool. How do I add you to this source? Ah, yeah. Anyway, I don't have any idea
Okay.
why this isn't
Well,
showing up.
I will describe it to you all because it's better than our blank screen.
Oh,
But when you're looking for a job, one of the things that you might not pay as much attention to as you should is really what your LinkedIn profile is putting out there. It's a very active community. This is where a lot of the recruiting is going to happen. This is where you're going to see a lot of the job posts. Definitely connect with me after that kind of thing. But the way you set up your LinkedIn profile says a lot about where you are in your digital skills. So if you have the default banner on there, what is that saying about your game? It's not. It's like, what's wrong with you? If you love Cali and like you're a rock star at Cali, then put a Cali screenshot as your background. Showcase what you're really putting out there with your skill set. And that's going to mean something. Have a proper, headshot. It's not a dating profile. Just have a real headshot like normal people are, you know, don't put your dog in there as much as I love dogs, but if you're looking for a job and you're looking to pick up your game, it needs to be that. It shouldn't be something else. And then there's actually some profile sections. That was the screenshot I was going to share, where you can put the areas of interest you have, and you're going to come up in recruiters' feeds. You're going to come up in other people's feeds differently, just on how you input your data into LinkedIn. And input data, fill it up. It represents you. This is like your graffiti wall. You
you.
should tout all of that stuff.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. You should be able to share now. I think it's all good. I think.
Hmm.
So if
I know. I'm
you
like,
hang
oh,
on one
oh,
second.
wait, a window.
So as soon as you're
There.
ready, you let me know, and I will push
All right.
publish to
It is
this.
sharing right now.
Okay, so I see the share. Let me see if I
Okay, that's good.
can
It's just I did a screenshot to make it easy.
make it a solo mode. All right, give me a second here. And oh, yep, there you are. Okay, so now I just got to kill you. There you go. All right. See ya. Gone. There you go.
Okay. So, because this is now all I can see. But tell them what kind of work you want to do. What's the title you're looking for? If you don't know, look for other people out there. My official title is CEO and founder. Unless you're looking to be a CEO and founder, don't put that title in there. Smartphone investigator, digital forensic investigator. You want to do incident response, whatever those are, put those in the job title. Change what your workplace environment is. And here's the caveat: if you really want to get into digital forensics, you pretty much are looking at that on-site hybrid. That's why I put that on there. It's pretty rare you can get away with a full remote position because you physically have to interact with media. It's just part of the job. Where you want to go to, I'm based near Chattanooga, Tennessee, so I have that in there for mine. And then when are you looking to do it? And then what type of job you're going to do. And over here on this arrow, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, it actually has it if you're currently in a job and then you're looking to go to a different job and you don't want your current employer to know, then you can click on that and say just open to recruiters. And that way you show in their feed, but you don't show in your normal LinkedIn. It's a little teeny tip in there to save you some of that. So we don't have to share the screen anymore, but I think this is an area of LinkedIn that people ignore and maybe don't put the right effort into it, but it really is how most of the jobs are found nowadays. Okay, I'm not sharing anymore.
Nope.
I realize I made that more complicated for you.
Nope. I can turn it on and off now. I had a
Okay, perfect.
quick refresher of how to use this to show your screen versus my screen. So you guys don't understand what I see here. It's insane. It's
You've got a
insane.
lot of stuff on that desk.
There's like, I don't know, a million different screens that I see and switches. And I don't know if you guys can, let me see if I can pick this up without disconnecting it. No, I'm not
You
going to
might be
try
able
it.
to do the camera, yeah.
It's
Yeah, too
the
risky.
Screen Deck, right? And if you've got or a
It's cool.
Stream Deck, if you've not used a Stream Deck before, it's pretty stinking awesome. All the stuff that it's able to do. So
It is. It's on my purchase list.
yeah, I like it. I just yeah.
I
Anyway,
haven't justified why I need it yet, so I'm looking. I'm looking for a reason.
oh wait, there's a camera. There's a thing here completely unrelated. Mr. Tampa asked this one. I'll let you answer that one.
Yes. I'm actually bringing back a couple of the courses are available online. So one of the things, like I mentioned, the certification. So DFIR's different. Every vendor has certifications with it as well, which is showing, I guess it's, can you operate this hammer? Can you operate this screwdriver? Can you operate this? I don't get certified in my chainsaw operation, which I'm pretty good at, but maybe there is a certification for that. But with our tools, we do need to have that. So those are great ways to say, hey, I can operate all these specialized tools as well, and I already have the certification to start. So maybe I'll put something in the hub. I'll put some codes in the hub so people can go into our academy and maybe take these courses for free. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
That means the people who just watch this on YouTube are screwed unless they join.
yeah, Paraben
It's free.
has. You're one of the few people that actually the only vendor left that has your group in there
That's
in
because
the
I'm
hub.
an OG supporter.
You
That's
are,
why.
and yep, and you've been with us since the beginning, so you still have it. Yep, that's
Yeah,
very
I'll
cool.
post some codes in there for that
Yeah,
very reason. We're doing a longer operator level course, which is really what you need to get started. That just shows, hey, I'm familiar with the technology. I don't know how many of the other vendors do this, but I do think the more you put on there, the better. For me, as a tool provider, I find it advantageous because you could introduce my tool and technology into an organization I don't have a presence in. So that's an advantage for me to want to support you, besides it's the right thing to do. I'm like old school that way.
very cool. I'm trying to flip back and forth between all of these and get everybody in there. If I see a question go by, I'm just throwing it in there.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, yeah. That's the best way to run these things, anyways. Have fun. It's
It
it's
is,
really the audience
absolutely.
that makes this because we can sit and talk about anything all day long, but
We
the
can.
audience
Unless it's the end
interaction.
of a conference, then nothing.
Oh god, yeah, that was sad. That was sad. I was so brain dead. It was just like not happening
Yes.
at all, at all.
So
Let
I
me
do
see here. All right, go ahead. Go
so
ahead.
I know Kevin's an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. I think the other side of defer is if you don't maybe want to have a job for someone else, but maybe you want to start your own consulting practice. I think that that is out there and available to a lot more people than maybe they realize, or as it is known, the side hustle. I'm never going to have a TikTok to talk about a side hustle and defer, but you totally could have a side hustle doing it.
Right.
So there's that side of it to think about it. If you're going to go that way, there's some paperwork. You're going to have some expenses, making sure you're insured. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Don't start a business without being insured. That's just a good rule of thumb. Uh, but if you are interested in doing that, totally reach out to me. I will share documents with you of what you need for letter of engagements, offer advice. I'm a big proponent for entrepreneurs in this space in general. I think it's great. So
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's a roller coaster, so hang on for that
Oh,
ride.
yeah.
So just warning you ahead of
You
time.
do have to be totally into it. It's
Yeah,
probably, in the end of the day, your first year of business is probably gonna cost you as much as it does to go on to an amusement park with a family of 5.
there you go.
But at the same time, you're building a foundation for something that you technically could do for the rest of your life. There's always a side hustle. I saw what was it? It was Dick Van Dyke. Okay, so I had a moment. It was a Mary Poppins flashback. I
Oh,
love that
hang on
show.
for this one. Okay.
I know. He's 96 years old and he has never stopped working and he just got picked up by a soap opera as an acting role at 96. I've never actually watched a soap opera, but I was like, wow. Like points to him. Like that's just some hustle. He's like the key to living long is to always keep moving and keep working. So, it's a side hustle for life with Deefer.
Yep,
People are always going to want to know their stuff.
for sure. And whoops, almost clicked the wrong one. It's going by that. And Mike has some good words with that too.
Oh, yes, it does. It
Yeah.
totally turns into an over. You're asking an entrepreneur that's been running a software company for 30, yeah.
Yep.
I have a rule of thumb. There's a life balance. I do not work after 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm done. I have family dinner, and I don't get back on until 8 a.m. the next morning.
Oh
Sometimes
wow.
7 a.m. if I have an early call, and I do it on purpose because you will burn out quickly. It's just what it is.
Yep.
I still get everything done. I'm a super fast worker, but
Yeah, I wish I did that, and I do not. I answer emails for, well, forever. And I shouldn't. I should walk away for a little bit occasionally,
gotta
but
walk away.
I do when I'm mowing the grass, though. So it's hard to be on the phone with a zero turn mower, and
I
it's
agree. When I
difficult to
mow,
be done.
I'm pretty focused as well. Um, yeah, William's question's a very good question. So, tools in this space for digital forensics, it's almost like you're buying diamonds. It's like stupid money sometimes. um, there are ways around that. Invest in instead of buying the Louis Vuitton of tools. I know I'm using what is a guy's thing? I don't have a guy's. So women know Louis Vuitton. What's a guy thing that's a name brand like that? The
uh,
F-150 truck. It's
I,
expensive truck.
I drive a
I know.
Chevy, so
Oh,
that's
okay.
a
So
Ford.
instead of getting that top tier, or instead of getting the Tesla, here I'm going to go generic. Instead of getting the Tesla, then maybe you should go down and look at some of the other hybrid models. Maybe it's just not time to have that Tesla. It doesn't mean that buying the tool that maybe costs less is going to cost you in investigations. It's actually just going to allow you to get that return on your investment. That's one of the things that I always emphasize is that I shouldn't have to spend so much on a tool that it takes me years, actual years, to get a return on that investment. Because if you can't make a billable hour that's coming back with that tool in the first 6 to 9 months of your business as you're establishing it, you probably bought the Tesla and it's too much money. You shouldn't have that Tesla. Get something that's more affordable. There's nothing wrong with a nice hybrid from one of the other manufacturers. It's just part of the doing the math. We even offer extended billing because people getting a business started, you can't, even though we're more moderately priced, you can't drop 6 grand in the first month of your business. You'd be like, oh,
I don't want to do that now.
hey, yeah, we're eating ramen. That's your moment. You're like, I'm back to ramen days and bad ramen too, not good ramen, bad ramen. So that's when you talk to the people you deal with. When you buy tools and you start a business, you're making a relationship with the people you're buying from. And a lot of them understand. They've been entrepreneurs themselves. We've suspended out billing for people for 3 months. Let them take a little chunk every month so they get a chance to earn that back. It sucks to start upside down.
Oh boy.
So,
Oh boy. And a little bit on certifications on where to get started is there's a lot of different certs out there. I
yeah.
mean, you have certifications as well, right? Over Paraben.
We have certifications. InfoSec Institute has certifications. They're all very affordable. Udemy has certifications.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm having a brain. You have lots of money. You can always go to SANS.
Yeah.
They have certifications.
Yes, they
I
do.
actually wrote a. Yes, they do. It's just money. It's the Tesla. You're going to pay for the Tesla,
Uh-huh.
um, and charging that Tesla too. You're going to pay for both. It's expensive. So look at that. Someone else has a ramen diet. I can't
Yeah.
do all the sodium anymore. I wrote a blog on this on Paraben's site about how to get started in the field, and in it, I actually list out some of the popular certifications out there. There are other places you can go and get it from. It doesn't have to be buying the Tesla every time. I know everyone's probably wondering if I have a Tesla. I don't. Okay. I never think that's a good choice in my investments, but I think about that before what is going to be my return on my investment.
No, I
You
think that's really
yourself,
important. Yeah.
always a good investment.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for
I think
sure.
increasing your knowledge, always a positive investment.
Yeah, that was one of my muting moments. Sorry, I was telling Amber when we were in the green room ahead of time.
Oh,
I caught some fluey sickness down at IASIS, and it stinks, and it's still with me. And it's been what, almost, how many weeks has it been now? Almost 2 weeks? No, a
it's
full
been
week.
over a week. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got out before then. Knock on
yeah.
wood,
You got lucky. I don't
I
think I
got
got
out.
it till that Friday, till that last day, which was a Monday. You were gone already on the Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I
was
left
just
on the
like,
Saturday
oh.
before. So I'm like, whoop, whoop.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, this chat is going fast. You guys are like chatty today, and I love it because I'm trying to get them all up onto the screen as much as I can. And
Oh,
shoo,
so we were talking about certifications and things. So this is the other thing that you guys are all going to think is probably a little bit nuts, but it's not. Is take some of these mini classes. I know I watch TikTok, I do it, it's totally fine. There's some mini classes in there that can totally give you an edge and an advantage. It's amazing how, if you understand Google advertising, for example, you're going to understand the data better. I totally missed that last chat. It went by too fast. I couldn't
oh,
multitask there.
sorry. What was that one? Oh, about a
It said
discount
Sam's,
for
and that's all
law
I got.
enforcement.
Oh,
Law
does
enforcement
Sam's have a
discount.
discount for law enforcement?
I
Oh, that
that's
would be
what.
nice if they
Hold on.
did.
Where'd he go? There
I
he
don't know
is.
if they
There
do.
it is.
Oh, they do give it law enforcement. Excellent.
There you
That's
go.
that is a great thing. I don't get that privilege. They should give a ginger discount. I feel I am a minority, so I am entitled to some discount in some way. But some of those give you a different edge. It gives you an area you can specialize on data. If you really understand Instagram better than others do, and you understand what artifacts to expect, advertise that in your services as you're an Instagram expert, because you learned multiple sources for it. You took it from not only the data, the use, but you also figured out, okay, how do people advertise in here? How do they share data? How are transactions done? That's a depth knowledge of Instagram. I'm just using that as an example, but
No, it's a good example. I just Megan had just sent me a link over in our chat system that we use. That you had written an article. It's on your blog. It's how to get
yep,
started in the field of digital forensics, right?
yep,
Yeah.
I
So
did.
I went ahead and
I wrote,
posted it in chat. It's in there.
I
So
think I wrote one for Cyber
click it.
Social Hub that is how to keep your skills sharp to keep your job. So
That's
it
very
has different
possible as
points in
well.
there. Yeah, no, there's a lot of content out there. I always keep it kind of, very basic and to your face. Is like, boom, this is what you should do. Look at these. These are great options for you, and be careful.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Ah,
Here's
so
one.
no experience.
Mm-hmm.
So the best thing you can do is start with yourself. So figure out what area. There's, I think, 7 areas of DFIR. I have a graphic. Um, you have to find which area you're going to be interested in, see what kind of training you can go through. Everyone starts in with no knowledge of it. It's not like it's like, boom, this is an automatic career path. They have to go through some of those classes. Then start doing investigations of yourself. I know this sounds really weird, but I investigate my phone, I investigate my computer. I created the data so I understand it from that side point. But then when you look at it naked in digital forensics, that's what I'm calling it. It's looking at it naked. Um, it looks different, and understanding that and just getting used to it, that's still something an employer and someone wanting you to start would appreciate, that that's your workflow you went into before you started into the field. And then volunteer. I know this is also going to sound nutty. Volunteer to help some of the nonprofits around you. We talk dog rescues. So volunteer to help the dog rescue. Say, hey, let me help you with some of your computer needs. Let me help you with understanding and seeing if I can help you in your social media. It's just going to give you a better depth of knowledge on that type of data. And it looks good on your resume.
Yep, absolutely, for sure. I mean, when I was full time law enforcement, I'd always all these colleges would approach me and say, "Hey, do you have an internship program? You want to take internships?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I let them come to my lab for free, knowing very well that poor college student was paying the college for the internship. We
I
didn't get
know.
any money from it, which I'm like, I don't understand that. But anyway,
Having kids in college, I agree. I feel like, why are you having I feel I'm getting chips somewhere in there. The other thing is, I don't know if it does this in the Cyber Social Hub, is take an opportunity if you have no experience, research something, write an article, get it published. Getting published in the Cyber Social Hub, I'm sure there's a submission process there.
yeah.
Sending it to me, I publish guest posts in my blog all the time because I don't have enough time to always write a blog post. I love having good quality ones. I read it, I give you feedback, and then we
Uh oh, did I lose you? Hopefully, I
I
am
hope
still here.
not.
Oh nope, now you're back. Okay, good. I didn't know if it was my
Okay,
internet
woo!
or your internet, so uh,
I have
it's
storms.
it's
Not that that should
temperamental.
change it.
It's very temperamental. So yeah,
But yeah, I think writing and showing that you're being active, if you have no experience, that's giving you experience. That's putting, um, you know, notches in the belt, whatever you want to put it. It's showing that, and you can post it on that LinkedIn profile. That I think you should like give it some game.
yep, absolutely. And to follow up on what Amber was saying, yeah, if you guys want to submit, obviously to Amber's blog or to ours, just get a hold of us. Either one of us, as long as it's not a flat out commercial. We don't like doing those. Make
Yeah.
sure it's
No, it has content, meat, and bone,
informational and knowledge. And
fat.
I know I'll speak for Amber too. Make sure it's going to teach somebody something. That's part of the requirements of getting
That's
it. Other than
And
that,
that's one of the
I don't
great things
care.
I like about the hub
Yeah.
is that it's information sharing. That's what it should be.
Yep.
Non-political information sharing. That's why I like the hub.
That's right. We try. We sure try. Hey, Brett's over there. He says, with all the free online information, learn as much as you can, and then you only pay for a class cert to make
Oh, sure.
sure that you pass and understand what's being taught from day one. Yeah, no, that's great
Yeah,
advice.
that's very good advice. And it will probably end up saving you some money in the long run. Because again, don't have a field that you could be passionate about be a barrier to entry because you think it's too expensive to learn. There's always different ways to learn. Oh, coughing.
Yep, had to mute, took off. Luckily, this new mic I can just quick tap and hopefully I don't miss one and
I have the old school telephone
get it mute.
operator mic headset that I've had forever, but it works.
Mine's all still jackeried up because I realized when I hooked everything up, I was still set up for IASIS, and nothing was the way it should have been. So I was like, oh no, we go on it too. And
I had to dig up
this
my
is
camera. I don't normally stay on camera.
my, so I have these bright studio lights, right? I mean, it makes a big difference when they're not on. I got a really cool remote that controls them on and off. And
Nice.
it makes a big difference, but they're on like all the time. There's what they look like off, which is kind of weird to see them off. But
Here's my change. See, I got brighter.
oh yeah, there we go.
Boom. That would be light mode versus dark mode.
Your monitors are your stage lights. Gotcha.
Yes, it is. I'm so pale. I was like, oh, I don't know. Maybe it washes me out. We'll try light mode for a little bit as my eyes are like, whoa. It's a lot.
Oh, that's great. All right, let me flip through chats here real quick and see if anybody's gotten anything. No, you guys are kind of reasonably quiet. Well, while we're in a little pause in the chat, if you guys that are still hanging out and we haven't sent you off at all, give the channel a like and subscribe to the channel, and also make sure you hit that little bell. That'll alert you every time that we do go live. If you care. If not, don't hit the bell, because you can we go live every week, just so you're reminded. But again, those likes and those subscribes help the digital forensic and digital investigative community get this information out a little bit further. So yeah, if you get a chance to do that, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. And I think Brett has something else here. Brett, I'm gonna
I was
put
like,
this up
that
here.
is an absolute must. I don't know if everyone realizes how weird it is to ask people to like you. Like I remember like
It is.
growing up and I'm like, I just had to guess if people liked me. Now they click on a button, tell me they like me or follow me. It's a little weird.
It is. My kids always remind me. It's like, Dad, you ask people to like and subscribe, and I'm like, what? I said I just don't feel right doing that, so I make it a
It's
little
just
bit longer of
different.
an explanation. Yeah. All right, sorry, more
Oh, that's
coughs in
excellent.
between.
That's a great example from Brett of about doing a lot of research, writing it up. The DFIR review and peer review it.
Hmm.
They'll give it a DOI number, and then you're officially published, which is super cool. Brett's been published. I've been published. It makes a big difference. Our leading expert we have at Paraben has put out 6 technical books as part of the process.
Hmm.
I'm currently working on a collection of books. These are things that I don't know if anyone ever realized that that was something they were going to do, but you absolutely can do that. There's nothing stopping you. I think that's the thing that stops most is it's like just a little bit of self-doubt that says, I don't know if I can really play in that space. You can totally play in this space. We're fairly friendly.
Yeah.
I'm going to
And
say that.
one of the big things I like to mention is because I have it, I still have it every day, just so everybody's aware. It's called imposter syndrome, right? It's huge in any industry that you're
Yeah.
in. And you feel like, do I really know enough to be talking about this? Or like when I did the hubcast when we first started these, it's like I don't really know enough to be talking in the modern. It's been forever since I did a case. Then I realized I don't have to. I just have to bring people, smart people on like Amber to do it. So don't worry about it. And no matter where you're at in the industry, right? If you're just starting out, you can write a story about the struggles of just starting out and share
Starting
your
out.
thoughts and your experiences with people. I would read that in a heartbeat because it's interesting to see how different people started out in the industry. Or you learn,
Absolutely.
yeah, how to parse a new artifact. Say it's the first time you've done
Mhm.
it. Maybe there's other post somewhere else on it, but the one that you post may help someone else solve that problem with an artifact that you were able to parse out. So don't be
I
afraid
think
to do it. Just do it.
Yeah, this field is a field with mentors, and you can find great people and connect with them. I've taken a couple that they just reached out to me on LinkedIn. I didn't know them, and I got to know them and found out what do they need, what do they help. There was a weird moment. I was in Best Buy. Okay, I went to the phone section because we know I do smartphone forensics. It's a great way for me to look at all the new models and everything else. And the young teenager who was working the support desk there, he's like, "So what do you do?" And I'm like, "All right, here we go." I rolled him in. I said, "This is what I do," and everything else. And he's like, "That's fascinating." He's like, "I love technology and I've been trying to figure out what I want to do with my life." He contacted me years later on LinkedIn and he said, "That one conversation changed my life of you just taking enough time to show I could have an opportunity to do something." He had gone to college, he got his degree, he got hired, and he is now doing digital forensics on smartphones. And
Wow,
he was just the guy
that's
in Best Buy.
thinking
He
awesome.
took enough time to reach out back after, but I know
Yeah.
Brett's in here, super friendly. Reach out to him. I'm sure he would offer great advice. I'm always happy to have people ask for advice and I'm happy to help them because that's what matters. We are a
Yep.
community and we're supposed to be helpful to each other. I'm
Yep.
not a mean girl. I'm just shy.
Yeah, I think most of the people, as I scroll through here and look like Will's in here, I'm trying not to associate names with some screen names in case I don't want to know who it is. Like Ron
Oh,
for sure, Mike, Jason, everybody in here
mhm.
would be happy to give free advice. Without a doubt, I can honestly say that.
The more opinions, usually the better, because
Yep.
you're going to have something that resonates with you that says, "Boom, that totally makes sense to me. I can get to that." So I think that's big.
Yeah. There you go.
Agreed.
You may not even know this person from 12 years ago. Maybe you do.
See, look at that. No,
So
absolutely.
yeah,
I think
Veronica
that's an
says,
important one. I think it's also for the women.
hmm,
It's good for us to meet each other because we are still a small percentage in this space and support and lift each other up. That's part of joining. That's part of trying to get a
hmm,
job. And it is just taking those few moments. It means a lot. You could also have insight. I get people calling me for some weird stuff that I'm like, huh, let me think about that. There's a lot of peer review in digital forensics you probably don't realize is happening.
yeah, I mean, a ton. Yeah.
Our lab practices peer review on every case, just in case we're human. We don't want to miss something. We feel a big um, value goes into your burden of proof. So we want to make sure we didn't miss something in that process. So we always peer review every case we have.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me see here. I'm kind of scrolling through again, and I try to keep going back to our main topic, what I made the topic about, and it's transitioning into digital forensics or digital investigations. And there's a million branches, right? We're mainly been talking
Totally.
about digital forensics, right?
Right.
Um,
And there is others. I think we have cousins. There's OSINT,
mm,
which is a cousin to digital forensics. I feel like we're cousins. I'm
oh
gonna
boy,
say that.
there,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
I could have opened a door there, but I've done some OSINT work as well. There's looking at incident response. That's what part of the DFIR is for, is
Hmm.
incident response. You might get your jam over malware. That's still, we're all cousins. It's one big old family reunion. Really, digital forensics is simply a validation procedure that lives underneath all these other spaces. And that's where you kind of get that start. And then you could find other areas of interest. I think there's a match for everyone. I always make sure when I go out and present, I point out the fact that I am dyslexic. I've always been dyslexic. It's not like I just got it when I broke 40 or something. So um, it was nice to find a field that clicked with my brain because digital forensics was doing everything backwards and putting together those pieces backwards. And I'm really big at making sure that people realize no matter how your brain thinks, it has a place here. It absolutely does. ADHD brains, because I'm also that, it's great because every case is different. It's always fun and interesting.
Yep, for sure. And and I apologize, I forgot to mention ahead of time, we are broadcasting out to 4 social networks simultaneously right now. And for all of those of you that are responding, like on LinkedIn or Twitter, those are the 2 big ones. We can't see those coming back in those chats. So if
Oh,
you're responding back to us there, I'm sorry. We're not ignoring you on purpose. We just can't see it
sorry.
come into our consoles here. We can see Facebook and obviously
And YouTube.
home here at YouTube. Is YouTube's our primary channel. Come on over to YouTube and just search for Cyber Social Hub. You'll find us all one word, and then you can join the chat live, and
I've
you'll see
always
it then.
watched via YouTube, so I didn't even
Yeah,
think about the others.
yeah. We started broadcasting out. I don't know. It's been a few months. We tested it and it said, "Yeah, it works great. So let's do it." But then we realized their APIs are a little stingy. They don't like to talk back.
Yeah. They have
Facebook's
that with
good.
problem with evidence too.
Yeah,
They're
Facebook's
stingy.
good. It comes in, but we can't talk back. We can only do the video back to it. So there you have it.
I think it would
Um,
be interesting. Like, Kevin, you didn't start with the career in digital forensics, right? Weren't you a
oh no.
DJ?
Yeah. So that was my weird career path. Was I started off as a DJ at a skating rink of all things. I was very young, mind you. Um, and then I went to work in actual broadcast in the radio industry. Hence my I'm still snobby with my audio and everything else. I was in radio industry for a while. Ended up out in Atlantic City, and then from there went to the Marine Corps. From the Marine Corps, got into law enforcement, and obviously I was always a technology nerd, and so that's kind of how that happy little marriage happened of technology and investigations. So it
See?
just all panned
And
out. Yeah, it was just a weird little career path.
I went to college on the side in culinary arts, so it has nothing to do with digital forensics. So you never know what's going to happen, people. I like this question too. So,
Hmm.
a coding question, like, what do you think is essential? It's interesting that coding has really become so critical in what a lot of people do because there's so much data. I think Python is still the number one thing. I don't know if Chet's still doing courses out there. He's obviously fantastic. We both love Chet. There's some great Udemy courses. There's a lot of free courses out there that will really get you into Python. And if you really want to break it, you could go in and go to Chat GPT and type in "Teach me Python," and you would be surprised what that little AI is spitting out there for free right now. They're going to make you pay one day, so might as well get it for free while you can.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I was just curious, and I was like, have I said what was I having a conversation with Chat GPT? It's really weird because it will actually have a conversation with you. It's creepy. And then I just said, hey, write me. I figured I'll start off easy. A script that will parse SQLite database. And sure
Hmm.
enough, man, it
It did.
just wrote it, and I was like, really? I'm like, that's pretty awesome.
I
And
feel like I'm talking to Data from Star Trek sometimes when I will talk to Chat GPT because it answers that way.
yeah,
That I'm like, oh, I'm living in sci-fi here. Now, the big trick, though, don't think that digital forensics can be taken over with AI. I think it will end up um, accenting and supplementing AI quite a bit because it does help you go through data. Um, but it is important to understand that it's out there and it's absolutely growing. I can't watch a single thing anymore without having AI shoved down my throat.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, there you
it's
go, restaurant manager at Burger King. See,
yeah,
someone
that's
else
Jason.
transitioned into this field.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
One of my best examiners, she has a psychology degree. She's fantastic at understanding the people behind the data. I just nerded her up. Oh yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Alexis has a lot of them. He
Rex
was
has
just
a
down
lot
at,
of good YouTube.
yeah, he was just down at ISIS teaching, I think a
That was the
mobile
first time
class
I got
down
to
there.
meet him.
Yeah. He was down there
I
teaching
was
a
super
mobile
thrilled.
class. Yeah. Yeah. It was very cool. I
Mhm.
got to see him. We were broadcasting and he walked by and I was waving and that was it. I didn't get to actually meet him. So on he went, but yeah, no, that's
He's
really cool.
another example. Someone obviously I've followed in social and in Twitter and everything else. He makes the best memes. They crack me up. Um,
He
but
does.
I had never met him in person, and I got to meet him at IASIS, and it was fantastic because he was so personable and nice. And for me as an introvert, it would have been really intimidating to just randomly go up and introduce myself. I don't think most people realize I'm such an introvert, but it was great to meet someone that was nice, that has great ideas. I think he makes great tools. I'm like, your side work is fantastic because he does have a
Mm-hmm.
real full time job too.
Mm-hmm. Does.
But love it
Yeah. It's weird because, I'm with you with that, even though I'm a little bit more extroverted,
a
but
little bit,
yeah, okay.
a
But,
lot.
but I try to get people to come on the show all the time. And I was like, if someone wants to come on, just get a hold of me, come on the show. But, I find his work fascinating with all the Python that he had written,
Hmm.
him and his team. And I was like, man, how do you reach out to someone like that? Say, hey, I follow you on social media. I'm kind of a stalker a little bit. I like what you're doing, but so
An appropriate
come on to
stalker
my show.
because it's social media. It's appropriate.
It's just
Appropriate.
weird. Even if
It's
you are
different.
extroverted, it is weird. But
Imagine
it's
how hard it is as an introvert. Like, hi, I kind of watched what you were doing. I thought it was cool. Sorry, I'm just a nerd at the nerd table. Yeah.
yep. It's just strange for sure. Meeting people that way, and that's. I think I met Brett for the first time at what was it, Techno last year? Maybe Brett, was that it? I
I
think
can't even
that's
remember
like
how
in
long I've
person,
known
and
Brett.
we've been chatting online
A
for
long time.
some time now. But yeah, and he
I
says there's
totally agree
yeah.
with his. I feel like it's a multiverse of madness in a way, just because I was picking a Doctor Strange moment. But there are so many vectors to come in, and you just have to be creative about it. I think that's actually my favorite skill that a digital forensic person or anyone in any of the digital investigation fields should have. Is it's that unique creative aspect to doing an investigation. Everyone always thinks it's all analytical all the time, but you really have to like if I were doing this, how would I do this? Maybe I would go this way. Maybe I'd do this. You go through all those scenarios, and it's way more than just the choose your own adventure. There's only two paths. There's like gazillion, a multiverse of paths to get to the evidence you're looking for. And I think that's what makes the field so exciting as well.
No, yeah, I agree with that completely. I'm trying to keep track of all of
I'm
it.
glad I don't have to multitask this. This makes it so much easier. I don't have to keep
It's
track
hard
of the
making
chat.
sure you're switching and timers going well, and yeah, it's fun. I feel like a police dispatcher though. They're like the ultimate multitaskers and trying to keep track of everything
Absolutely.
with chat and everything else. But it's good. Hey, we're down to the last few minutes here, so I want to make sure if anyone has a question for Amber or the group as in whole, bring it in. Make sure you ask it in chat. If you're over on one of their other social networks watching, come over to YouTube. That's where all the cool kids are hanging out. Anyway, is over
Oh my
here,
gosh, I'm at the pool table. I've never been at
right?
the pool table.
You are live on stage at the cool table. I'm just saying. That's
Sweet.
I, I just bring other cool people on. So that's all that's my whole role in life is to find it. So, and if you guys have an interesting question or scenario, we'd like to hear that as well. Obviously, there's some I like to say seasoned examiners in here. People have been doing this gig a long time with some great
We like to
input.
call ourselves Jedi, not seasoned. Seasoned doesn't
Yeah,
sound
seasoned. Well, it could be
Let's
salt
be
too.
Jedi.
Let's be real. You could be salty. That is a seasoning. So
I've been
in my
described
mind.
as salty
So
before, so I get it.
Brett, yeah, thanks a lot, Brett. Amber's cool. That is all.
Thanks, Brett. That means
And
something.
it's true. Just the way it is. So yeah, I mean, a million ways to transition. I think there's a couple key elements everybody should have as part of being in this. You have to be naturally curious. As a kid, I took apart. I'm aging myself here. The turntables, the 8-track players. I just wanted to figure out how everything worked. What did it do to get this, and how did it you do this and that? And
I took apart a toaster.
whether did you get it back together? Because sometimes I
I did.
couldn't.
It shot toast 6 feet in the air. It was
That's
fantastic.
awesome. That is awesome. Put the supercharged spring in it. That's great. Yeah, and I think that curiosity is something that we have to have, in order to figure out how something's working. Because there's no playbook for every artifact that's out there. Like for this
No,
weird chat app or gaming app that has chat in it, how do you parse it? Mm, no
I know.
major
I just,
tool is going to
you
have
got
it.
to
You
dive
can't
in
keep.
and try it.
Yeah, you can't keep up. Get in there and check it out. I'm sorry, I'm seeing
I don't,
chat go by. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I don't think digital forensics is about, I'm going to call it the big box tools. Everyone always thinks that's what it's about.
Hmm.
It's not. It is about that curiosity. It's about your willingness to jump into that data using whatever tool you want. But if you didn't pick up that screwdriver, you would never have been able to take apart that turntable. You totally did date yourself there. I did have vinyl though, so I get it. But that's what it is. You've got to do it.
Yep, for sure. So I'm trying to go through here, find any questions. There is an OSINT question in here. Do you think the demand for OSINT will increase or decrease in the next 5 years?
Okay, I'm on the fence for this one. I think OSINT's going to have to evolve. I do think the AIs, unfortunately, are going to affect what happens in the OSINT space. But I think that what's going to happen with OSINT is they're going to have to go to that verification stage that's different than maybe what they've produced in the past. They're going to have to add a little bit of extra onto there because they have to almost disprove the AI at this point. I did a comparative case, a practice case. I do those all the time that just says, okay, what happens if I do it with an AI versus doing it myself? And it was interesting to see some of those differences in there. And I can't remember what it was called. It's like, I think it's called an AI illusion. It might be. I can't remember. Someone in my team brought it up with me the other day. And it was surprising to see how much of that data happens. But you've got to counter check it. There's a lot more verification that's going to happen with OSINT as AIs grow. That is going to be a direct side effect of that, in my opinion, because AI has access, obviously, to all the open sources as well.
Yep, absolutely. And I think, information with OSINT, I mean, it's really, I mean, if you look now, the number of people that claim to be doing quote unquote OSINT, right? It's
Hmm.
funny how the name's involved, and it's really a personal definition of what OSINT is. It's not just finding a little bit of something that you looked
Yeah.
up somebody on the internet. There's a lot more to it than that. Um,
It's very in depth.
oh
It's a
yeah.
mile deep, to be sure. I'm on the board for Osmosis,
Hmm.
which is an organization of OSINT investigators that you can join and do training and everything with. And it's founded by Cynthia Hetherington, who I've known. We both started our businesses at the same time, so we're both having our 24-year anniversary this year.
That's awesome.
And she really pioneered a good percentage of that field, just taking from the perspective of her librarian side. And I actually remember doing research in the library but without a computer and having to pull magazines and periodicals and read them and go through papers and papers and papers. And it's the new generation of investigators just don't know what that feels like.
Right.
That's why I say it's going to shift and change. And I also think the word open is going to change.
Yeah, it could.
So,
It very well could. Or microfish, right? Wasn't that what
yeah,
microfilm
totally.
fish?
Yep.
Yeah, I've
I did that.
completely dated myself too, but yeah, no, it's real. I'd be curious. Do you think there's still a library out there with those things? There's got to be.
My library is actually.
Does it?
I I moved to a more rural area during the pandemic, and I've actually
Oh,
really
okay.
enjoyed it. We actually took all of our old training machines that Paraben had, and we donated it to our library here. We turned them into Linux first
Hmm.
and made it really easy because they had no computers to offer to the population.
Hmm.
They work entirely on donation. So I'm like gathering books from people. I'm talking to others. I'm like, they take DVDs. My trade show equipment at the end of the year, I'm going to donate to them so they can do learning classes there.
Oh, that's very
So
cool.
you never know what library might need your help, guys.
No, absolutely. Yeah, and I haven't even been to a library for a little while. We have one in the little town that I live in, but yeah, it's
Tennessee has a fantastic e-library as well. Tennessee Reads. It
really.
encourages so much of the population to get access to materials.
Hmm. And a lot of times that's the only place you can find the information you're looking for. It's not
Mhm.
online. You're not going to be able to Google dork it. It's just not gonna, it's not
Yep,
possible,
it
right?
might not happen.
Yeah,
Yep,
Manny.
old school Dewey Decimal,
That's right.
absolutely.
Old Manny. All right, I think it's
You might
everybody's
have to do a
questions.
series of these with, get Cynthia on and have her talk about OSINT jobs.
It's just nailing down her time. She's always traveling
She's so
somewhere
busy.
on
I
planet Earth.
know.
It's hard to nail her down. We did have her on. I don't know. It's been a few months now
Yeah.
that we had her on. Actually, it's probably been longer than that. So
But
she's
I know
due
for her, she looks
back
a
on.
lot in your resume. So I know we talked about LinkedIn.
Hmm.
Everyone, if you are trying to get a job, have a good resume and be modern. It's not like you used to have your resume. And you should actually write a custom resume for every job you apply for that's specific to that job. It's not just, hi, this is Amber Schroader and that's it. It's like, no, you want to look at my entrepreneurial skills. You want to look at my digital forensic skills. You want to look at my OSINT skills, whatever it may be. You might want to look at my cooking skills. You never know. But I need to rewrite that resume for every job I do.
Yep. And I'll tell you what. I'm going to share this real quick where you and I are still chatting. I just went on to Canva. Everybody's heard of Canva, I'm assuming.
I love Canva. Oh my
Is
God, I love Canva.
they have, I'm just scrolling through. All I did was type in resume in here, you guys,
Beautiful
and they're
templates.
beautiful templates. There's no reason not to have something that stands out and just jumps out at people. I mean, there's a ton you can
And
see.
it should
It's going to keep on
It
going, and
should
that's what
complement
catches
the
my eye.
LinkedIn. Yeah, it should
Yeah.
complement what your LinkedIn looks like as well. Don't be like all pink flowers and poppies on one, and then the other ones like lightsabers and everything else. Make them go with each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, there you go. That's a good set of videos.
Java
Absolutely.
Hunt like a hacker. I've not seen those. Jason Blanchard. I'll check those out, Ron. Are those on? Are they on YouTube? Is I'm assuming they're here on YouTube
YouTube would.
somewhere. Yeah, I'll be sure to check those out. I got to remember we're living about 15 seconds into the future, so it takes a while to them to hear it and then respond back.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we live in the future. So
that's
yeah,
pretty cool.
that's very cool. Yeah,
I
it
just
is. Yeah.
watched a whole new show about that, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh,
Peripheral, Amazon, so good.
yeah, Ron. We can't see the links. I don't know if it's. I don't think YouTube allows links
I don't think it shares them when you're
from the
broadcasting.
standard chat people. Yeah, unfortunately, I can put links in all day long, but if you send them to me, I can put them down in the description or make sure they get in there. There's ones that you did post so far because I know you've been posting, and maybe I just can't see them. Maybe my software's not showing me. But
You can put them in the comments in the other social feeds. They will show.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And actually, you can drop it in the comments here, and it should show the
Oh, and
link,
it shows it. There we
but it
go.
just won't show it in the chat for some reason. So I don't know what it is. It says, do those get picked up by the HRIR tools they use
Huh.
to screen? I don't know that I understand the
You know,
question all that
it's
well.
it's because I do think that's an issue. So now, in order for you to get past a certain stage of your resume getting approved in a large organization, you have to pass an AI stage, which is so weird. Um, I always recommend to try to push yourself past that AI stage is go on LinkedIn, find out who the organization you're applying with, make sure you link into them and just say, "Hey, I'm another DFIR emerging professional. I would love to follow you and get to know from your experience." And once that happens, that's actually going to help you in that longer process. Because if you don't make it through round one with the AI, you can go in and be like, hey, did you notice that I applied for this new position that you had in Chattanooga? I wanted to make sure you saw my resume. It's still great to connect with you. Don't make it about your sales pitch to them to hire you. Make it about the I'm happy to connect with you. Did the AI catch me? That will make a difference. It's
Hmm,
weird. My kids have all tried to apply at a particular large organization to work retail, which now they just monitor computers. Um, and none of them made it past the AI. None of them. They had
really?
experience and everything. Not a single one made it past the AI.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. It's very hard to get an entry level job in a regular place now because of all the AIs that scan your details.
That's insane. I'm glad I'm an old dude doing my own thing at this point. Don't have to worry about it as much. I don't know that I could. I mean, how do you get past the AI? I didn't know there were AI
Yeah.
tools in existence anyway. That's why I was like,
You get
what?
You get passed by being a regular person and being friendly. I know that sounds silly. You might not make it through that, but you'll be able to send a resume independently a lot of the times.
So if you hide stuff, like if you turn in a resume and put white text on the white background and just write like AI sucks a bunch of times where it's hidden, that probably
You'll
would
get
not
kicked
get
out.
you past. Yeah. All right. Just
No,
checking
you'll
on
get
that.
kicked out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's worth a
Have
shot.
clean metadata. We all know that in digital forensics. So have the same in your resume. That is
Right.
a pet peeve. PDF your resume and have clean metadata. Okay. That drives me crazy. If someone sends me a resume in Word, I'm like, what? You wanted me to edit this? Is that what's happening? Because I didn't think that's what I was doing. I'm
Yep.
a mean AI.
Hey, Amber, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, how do they do it? I don't want
Um,
someone asked for an email. I'm like, email on open YouTube
so
channels,
you
not good.
absolutely can link into me on LinkedIn. I'm under Amber Schroader. I'm on Twitter at Ginger Wonder Mom. I did want to be Wonder Woman, so this is the closest I got. So Ginger Wonder Mom on Twitter. I'm also in the hub, of course, but um, send send me your requests. I'm happy to link into you. I'm happy to answer questions for you. There's a couple of people that linked into me. They're like, have you heard of any jobs? I try to keep track of those so I can refer people that says, hey, I know this person's hiring. I know this person's hiring,
Yeah,
but I am not a recruiter.
that's right. We
I
have a
am
beta
not that
area,
person.
and I call it a beta area because it's just that. It's not working
Yeah.
half the time. So if you come over in Cyber Social Hub here and come down to jobs,
Oh,
um,
perfect.
and then we have a running job board, and you can filter for various things. But you see cyber forensics analyst and some of these
Analyst.
titles like digital forensics investigator two. You can
But that's
take a
the
look at all
titles you
these.
want to put in that LinkedIn that you're looking for because
Yeah,
that's how their algorithm is going to recommend these to you as well.
yeah. There's a whole list over here. So if you guys want to cruise over there, and you can take a look
Is there one for
and
Wonder
see.
Woman? Because I know
No,
she got fired and she never should have got fired.
I
So,
don't know.
you
I'm
know,
always filtering for like digital forensic things. So I try to. Who knows? There's cybersecurity and digital forensics. That's about it. It's in there. And OSINT. I think there's OSINT
perfect.
in there too.
There's some OSINT ones in there too. Perfect.
Yeah, I think so. If not, I have to check my filter. Like I said, it's beta. If you click on it, it'll show like half of the actual listing because we're pulling them from other sources. Obviously, I don't go and pull all these different sources, and then just click on the actual link. It'll take you to the job listing. Then you can read all about it.
Yep.
That's the
And
best way to do
diversify your skills, people. Learn OSINT even if you're digital forensics. You want a full perspective when you do a digital investigation. It's not just one area. Know all your
it. Yep.
cousins.
Yep. And there's a lot of them. There's so many of them.
There's a
It's
lot.
crazy. I mean, a lot of things that we don't talk about on the show or even in the hub is video forensics for that matter. The
Yeah,
LEVA
that's a totally different
certifications.
industry.
Yeah, and it's still digital forensics because hello, it's all stored in ones and zeros. Unless somebody's still storing on magnetic tapes, which hang on for that
It's
ride if you
probably
are.
possible that they are, but no, it's a totally different field. And maybe
Mm-hmm.
you were the kid in the audio visual club in high school that said, this is my jam. I want to do this. That's where you should go and look.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I did that a little bit for our department, and it was hard. That was a lot harder, I thought, than
That
digital
doesn't surprise me.
forensics.
I have never done that,
It was
but I
hard.
don't feel I have those passions or skills for that particular area.
Yeah. I'll post the link for the job hunting in the feed. Oh, all right. Someone wants me to post that. Copy,
There you go.
paste. I don't know if you have to be a member for that link or not, Ron. Um, for that, but there's the job things, and I'll post this in the description as well. So if somebody's looking, they have it. Um,
Oh, I have one last thing. Can I
yeah,
add one
please do. I
last
was just ready to ask. Did you have anything else?
So when you guys are looking to transition careers or you're looking to enter into a brand new field like that, I don't think you should look at it as I am now going to be salary picky. So I think that's the way to shoot yourself in the foot, so to speak. You got to enter in and you've got to make some compromises. I'm not say sell yourself short, but look at it as an opportunity and a stepping stone to move into a space that you can grow in. If you're already plateaued out of where you are, maybe take the little bit of hit in salary, and it's okay for a while to gain the experience under a fantastic mentor or to just get into the space and get the experience, period. And you may not be making those amazing numbers that you really hope you will, but that's temporary. You will change and it will grow, and you will make better numbers in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, don't be just you got to take that step down occasionally to get started somewhere else. So,
Mhm.
yeah. But as a lot of people said, oh wait, there's some more questions. We're going to try to answer them. And as long as I'm not keeping you, Amber, because
No, that's
it's
it.
Friday here. I'm like, well, whatever. Let's keep
It's
going.
Friday.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I was like, it's Friday.
So would you be willing to share what is a competitive salary band for making that
Um,
switch? It's a big variance,
It's
but
a huge variance. It's very regional as well.
yeah,
You're
maybe
gonna
that
get
sounds
paid
like a good
something
write
very
up.
different. It is, but I don't know if people would really be thrilled with. We'd have to pull the regions of it, so you're gonna get something different. In the United States, you're broken into 3 to 6 regions.
Hmm.
Each one of them is gonna have a different range. You can see introductory, like, basic analyst positions for anywhere, depending on the region, for, like, 55,000 going up to you switch reasons and now the introductory positions at 75,000.
Yeah.
But the big difference, everyone, remember cost of living. I don't think you think of that all the time. You just say, "Why is it so much more to work over here than this one?" It's that cost of living.
Hmm.
And you have to keep that in mind. But really good analysts get paid well. Public sector doesn't get paid as well as they should versus, private sector, but the trade-off is private sector, you're going to have to travel, you're going to have a different level of stress, and you're not going to have that family dinner at 6 p.m. a lot of the time. It's just not going to happen for you. So choose the lifestyle. I always say when you're picking a career path, make sure you pick a path based on what your actual goal is. I have a family. My kids are raised now, but I want to make sure that I'm present in my relationship, present with my family. So I had to make adjustments in my career to do that because as an entrepreneur, I could literally work 24/7. There were times I actually worked swing shifts, so I would put my kids to bed at night. I was a single mom, I put them to bed, and then I would go back to work and then work until 3:30 in the morning, and then go to sleep for 3 hours, get them up, go to school, so on and so forth. And I did that for years, but I pay the toll for it. It's what you got to decide your end goals are. It's not always about the career and the money, it's about your life. I
Indeed,
know
you
that
got
was existential.
to find out what's important to you and go for it. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Amber, thanks so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be cognizant of everyone's time of the day, and it is Friday. I doubt everyone just uses this for an excuse to get out of work. It's like, oh, we got a training video we have to watch. It's on it too every Friday.
It
So
is a
yeah,
training video.
it
It's a
is. You'll
training
learn.
video and your career and your potential. Don't
That's right.
forget you have it.
And we try to have fun, and yeah, there you go. Thank you. RC tells you thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
there you go. So if you guys haven't joined Cyber Social Hub, go check it out. Cybersocialhub.com. It's free.
Yeah,
We don't charge investigators to come in. Just
it's free
contribute,
and friendly.
give
It's
back.
friendly.
Yeah,
I
for the
think that's
most
a big
part.
part of it.
Yeah.
It's friendly too.
Yeah, everyone's willing to teach and learn and share their experiences. It was funny. I was just in there, and it took a long time. I mean, everyone thinks, "Oh, I've never heard of it before." You guys brand new? Yeah, we're 4 years old. So it's we've been around for a little bit, but Ron's already posting this stuff of how to hunt a job like a hacker in there. Thank
Oh,
you, Ron,
good.
for that.
Thanks,
So
John.
he's already on it. And yeah, you can go in there, ask questions, post information. Please do, because Ron says this says y'all need to join. So that's right from Ron. So
There
yeah,
you go.
thank you, Ron. I appreciate
Hashtag
it.
join up, people.
That's right. Amber, thanks so much. If you guys need to
Thank
get a hold
you.
of Amber, she's in Cyber Social Hub. You can go in there. You can go over to paraben.com. And I'm sure fill out any multitude of forms over there, and eventually she will see it, or somebody will
Yep.
find her and say, "Hey, this one's for you," and
Hit
she'll
me in
get back with
LinkedIn,
you. Yeah,
Twitter. You
LinkedIn,
got
Twitter,
choices.
easiest ways to do it for sure. Amber, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, guys. Everyone, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to hit like on that little button over there somewhere, wherever it's at on your screen. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. Mirroring of cameras, it's weird, but we do appreciate it. And again, we're just here to help the community out as much as possible. And if you would like to come on to the Hubcast, please let me know. You can reach me the exact same ways in Cyber Social Hub, LinkedIn, Twitter. It's just the way we communicate today. Other than that, thanks guys so much. I appreciate it. Amber, thanks so much for taking your time
Thank
out. I
you.
really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
And we'll talk again soon, right?
Absolutely.
All right, guys, take care. We'll see you.